Hello and welcome to a scene for Hong Kong House of Cards. Today's you is finally finding chasers on the island. It's been a while since both of them have been planning to speak to one another, but strange how these things go.
It's amazing. I swear, Chases is more stealthy than I thought he was. He's that hard to find.
No. Thing is, Zhu has been out to the island looking for him, and every time she crosses into the Umbra, he crosses into the real world, and vice versa, back and forth.
It's the worst timing ever.
Yeah.
It's literally the modern classic World of Darkness version of Benny Hill.
Yeah. But yes, so eventually, Zhu has made her way to the island in a way in which chasers can actually notice.
In other words, she fakes going into the Umbra so that he pops out and goes, surprise!
Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
Pardon?
How's it going?
Moderately well.
Cool.
I understand there are some issues we need to discuss.
Yeah. Like how we make this thing properly into a sept.
Well, there need to be 2 rituals to turn it into a proper can.
And a crap ton of Gnosis, from what I understand.
That is used in the higher level of the 2 rituals, yes.
Oh, is that a literal crap ton, or is that Hamid figurative crap ton?
100.
I think it's somewhere in between.
But yes.
Yeah.
The level 5 ritual, which consolidates the energy into a usable form, requires 100 gnosis.
I wouldn't say necessarily that was a literal crap ton, but it's pretty darn close. So how do we get that much?
Well, it's important to remember that that is only part of what is needed for the ritual.
Is that the most difficult part, though?
Not entirely. You need 13 ritualists to take part, and each of them sacrifices a permanent point of gnosis.
Ah.
So they have not given you the harder part of the task.
Okay. Well. How do we begin to go about this?
Well, we will need to see about gathering many storage vessels.
Storage vessels, okay. Like a specific type, or can we just go down to what do they call it, a hardware store, software? What? Well,
Talons
hard.
are the best choice.
Right?
Talons are likely to be the best choice.
Oh, okay. I don't think there's a hardware store for that.
No. We will also need to discuss the manner in which the island is to be managed.
Okay.
One person does not make a sept.
It's true. But to be fair, if this one person wasn't here at the time, probably wouldn't even be available for us to do anything about it.
It still does not make a sept.
It's true.
And if we are to succeed in the second ritual, the one to place a totem firmly into the can, we will need to be able to show that we are capable of maintaining and defending it.
Most definitely. Especially seeing, I doubt that we've seen the last of those dirty child-killing bastards.
It certainly seems unlikely we've seen the last of them. One attended the council meeting.
I think I need to have King of Cats check my hearing, because I could have sworn you just said one of them showed up at the council meeting.
Yes, to lodge a complaint about apparently having had their territory stolen.
And he was killed on sight, right?
No. I did inform him that we could not steal what was already ours.
Oh. How many of them nice Garou were at this meeting this time around?
A few. It's hard to keep track of exactly who comes and who goes.
So, a black spiral.
To be fair, he did not announce his tribe until after having left. He simply commented that he was an interested party who felt his territory had been taken from him. When speaking afterwards, I was able to ascertain that this was indeed the territory he was talking about. I pointed out we could not steal what was already ours, and that the entirety of this city, this country, this continent is Hengeyokai, and that the Garou are here as our guests.
You do realize that he is a walking, talking death sentence, right? Because the moment the Garou find out that he is a black spiral dancer, starts to limit the days that it remains breathing.
As long as they do not kill him while he is practicing his position as an ambassador.
So, if the council doesn't know that he's a black spiral dancer, he's not an ambassador to jack shit.
He is an ambassador from the group which were evicted from this place.
council doesn't know he's a Black Spiral. So he cannot, until they recognize that he is a Black Spiral, it cannot be acknowledged as an ambassador of anything. Now, do not get me wrong. As much as I hate these things, I wouldn't touch him if he was an ambassador. However, until the council actually states he is an ambassador, the Garou are completely free to do whatever the hell they want with it.
You are incorrect in the methods in which we deal with others. His people have named him one. He is behaving as one. These are the requirements, not whether we decide to acknowledge him as one or not.
Just so you know, Chase actually walks over to. We're in the real world, right?
Yeah, I don't know which side of the gauntlet we are, but whatever.
No, it's easier for Chase right now. He walks over to a particular part of the grounds, and he stands on it, and he points down. Now, do you want to go over to the other side and explain to the spirits of the 33 children that are laying underneath my feet, whose heads were cut off and put on pikes on these very grounds? And he points out particular areas. Pretty much every single area, one where a pike stood. That you will let him just exist without the council at least acknowledging him as which I have serious doubts that they will, as an ambassador to the Black Spiral Dance. Do you know what a Black Spiral is? What a Black Spiral Dancer is?
They're worm-tainted Garou. But the point is that it does not matter the sides. If a person acts under the banner of truce in order to explain their side of matters, you listen, you watch them carefully to ensure they don't do anything foolish, and then you give them your response. Once they have left and returned to their people and relayed the message, you are perfectly welcome to kill them. In fact, more than somewhat, fully endorse the matter. But until that happens...
Here's a problem with a truce.
It's not a truce. We do not have a truce with Black Spirals. What we have is an individual acting as messenger.
I will not act against this individual as long as he doesn't step on it. The moment he steps a toe on these grounds, his life's forfeit. However, as a general of the council, I will not in any way, shape, or form endorse any kind of punishment against a member of the Garou that may or may not kill him. It will be a abstain from me. Do you understand that?
Your opinions are your own. But as one who comes from a line who have acted as ambassadors more than once, been attacked more than once while simply relaying a message and behaving with courtesy, we are better than that.
I said the best I can do, which is I will not touch him as long as he does not step his foot on these grounds. He stays away from these grounds, I will ignore his existence which means I will not talk to him, I will not receive him, I will not even listen to him. That is the literal best I can do. And if the Guru find out, that's their business. Because I know
The Guru's
they are
significantly more tolerant of his presence than I was.
But you just said they didn't know he was a black spiral.
At the meeting, there was a discussion afterwards involving Tugaru, myself, and the gentleman in question. They seemed rather less certain of how to react. I told him it was our place, and that anyone who wished to make a territory within the Hengeyokai lands would have to speak to the Hengeyokai. I severely doubt that any such approval will be given, but it is only proper that we listen to any argument they may make before refusing them.
Well, I'm not in a position to agree to anything in Hengeyokai, in the name of the Hengeyokai. So I really don't have to listen to him.
This is true.
But spirits that have perished on these lands and children who have perished on these lands, if that thing steps foot on these lands, he's forfeit.
Matters of ambassadors aside, there is much that we need to discuss in terms of preparation.
One last thing. I do apologize that we do not agree on this, but after fighting these things and seeing what they've done twice, I cannot stomach such a thing to exist. I've taken 2 of their heads and 2 heads of their spirit minions. And I've the kill shot on 2 more. Just on these lands. That's all I'm going to say about it from there. Let's move on.
Garu aside, it is a large undertaking to create a cairn. And as much as the gathering of 100 gnosis may seem a daunting challenge, we have many more challenges as well. In order to attract a suitable spirit, we need to provide a suitable sacrifice. And a champion to take part in an appropriate challenge.
Well, I volunteer for the champion part of things. I've already said
it really rather depends on the nature of the spirit as to what an appropriate challenge would be.
Okay.
Also, there was an offer of a deal from a cat spirit.
Oh, thank you for not continuing that statement in a way that I thought it was going.
There was an offer of a deal from a cat spirit That
about yay tall, white, looked like a full-grown feline. Not exactly a big cat, but
when I
house
saw
cat.
her, she was a blue kitten, but I severely doubt she's limited to one form.
Well, at the sex ray from the one I saw talking to King. Was it mostly all white?
No, as I said, the kitten was blue.
Oh, blue.
Blue.
Weird.
But I very much doubt she is restricted to one form.
What's her name?
She said that we might call her Bast. And if you want to make an Umbral Law with -2 to the difficulty, so 6, because it would usually be a difficulty 8, but you can.
How about good old Bastet lore?
Count. If you don't have Umbral Law, Bastet Law will also work.
Awesome.
Mistress of Catkind goes by many names and many forms, one of which is a blue kitten, one of which is a tiger, one of which is a water buffalo for no apparent reason.
I swear she probably just went,
Yeah.
cat, why the fuck not?
She tends to go by many forms and many names. And Bast is definitely one of those names.
No relation to the Egyptian goddess Bast, is there?
Oh, every relation to the Egyptian goddess Bast.
Do I get that with those 2 successes?
Yeah.
Ah. What's the homage? You're shitting me, right?
No, she appears to have taken a liking to Adam and by extension my Sentai.
Do you know who Bast is?
I can recognize the references.
Yeah. References, yeah. Just think truths.
She certainly has an interesting personality.
To be fair, most goddesses do.
Especially those that are associated with cats.
Yeah, that too. But the association to the cats completely aside. Be wary if you ever see a water buffalo. I'm sure there's a long story behind it. I don't know it. But there's a water buffalo involved.
Right.
Is she like looking at me like I'm completely nuts?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I swear somewhere along the line she went, cat, water buffalo. Why the fuck not?
Well, spirits are unpredictable at times. She had a deal. One specifically offered to the female members of my Sentai.
And that deal is
to help with the claiming of this island through an enhanced but single-use version of one of the gifts which she teaches to the Bastet.
which gift would that be?
Mine.
Oh, I think I might know that one.
It is a quite a cool little Bastet gift. You literally rub your face on it, and it is yours. It is a feline breed gift, but yeah, it's usually only used on small objects. But knowing Jamak the way you do, you know that they're quite capable of doing weird and unusual things, like boosting it so it will work on an island. As long as it's only the one time. But yes, it means that the if anyone wants to try and take the item or island away from the person that is considered its owner, they have to make a willpower roll before they even start trying to do anything.
Interestingly enough, that's a power I could actually get it even at this level.
You can get the normal version, yes.
Yeah. I was absolutely expecting to find that to be a level 5, but it's only a level 1.
Because usually you can only use it on relatively small items.
It's true.
You know, smaller than yourself.
Yeah.
But yes. She has, of course, asked something in return for this. But she...
I this I've got to hear, because that power I know, and island size. Well, it's a spirit, so
to mention what it is in return. She mentions it as being a secret.
excuse me a second. Yeah, I'm just going to spend the gnosis and pop over.
Yep. That's fair.
And because a king of cats has agreed not to leave the island and help protect it, he should be very easy to find.
Have you had many scenes with King of Cats in?
Nope.
Any scenes with King of Cats in?
Nope.
Okay.
Actually, no. He's mostly been just Teller using him as kind of, periphery support, like, giving me an occasional warning when something bad is approaching in the Umbra, which makes sense. But beyond that, no.
Now, usually cats tend to dislike being used as guard dogs, but given the importance and the fact that you're basically stuck on your own, he's probably grudgingly been doing it for the whole of this time.
Oh yeah, the agreement was very begrudgingly agreed upon because of the importance of retaking us, or at least holding it long enough to get a totem. And I'm pretty sure that Chases is going to owe him big time in the end, or well, probably the entire set's probably going to owe him something in return in the end. Probably a little of both, actually.
Now, usually, King of Cats tends to prefer his human form. Usually.
I didn't find much information on King of Cats. He was buried pretty far into the 2nd edition stuff.
See, I found something that I will send you that is probably pretty handy.
I took them because the band made sense. It made sense on many levels, and because it was buried in second edition, I thought maybe bringing them back and giving them
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah.
But you will see on the link that I've just given you, there's a little bit on King of Cats. There's also a little bit on Mistress of Catkind. Given your roles earlier, I'm pretty sure anything that's in the information on Mistress of Catkind, you are welcome to use. But yeah.
Oh yeah. You read that and you think, yeah, that totally makes sense for chases.
Yep. At least to begin with. But yes.
Yeah, I'm going to point that out to anybody who goes, "Why is he with chases?" Read it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Usually he prefers his human form. Currently, though,
Yeah.
he's not actually in his human form.
I'm just absolutely, I read that and I read the name and I'm just, it doesn't state what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's animal form's probably a lion.
King of Cats? No. That's King of Beasts.
Oh.
King of Cats. He kind of varies, but it's various different feline forms. And currently, he is looking something like this.
Have you been watching Sailor Moon?
And somewhere, well, fairly near to him, is this cat.
You've been watching Sailor Moon, haven't you?
They're both going to give you a very odd look.
Luna, Artemis, really?
Are both powerful spirits.
So, I'm going to shift into his cat form, which, it owns kind of both of them. Black spots, white cat. He offer a slight bow to both of them. Hello, Bast.
Hello.
You'd look great.
Yeah, so she's just going to look right back at you and say hello.
It's an honor. A big, huge, bloody surprise, but it's an honor.
It intrigued. It intrigued me, this place known as Hong Kong, where an island is claimed for the Bastet before it is claimed for the Henge Yokai, and where a cat becomes a Garu kinfolk.
What now?
One of the Fae.
Well, I guess it kind of goes hand in hand with the non-guru that can turn into their war form. A mage that can turn into their war form.
Curious. but less so than a cat that wants to be a dog.
I I'd actually kind of find that amusing in some fashions, but curious is by far the more appropriate word. Um, the fox is giving me a headache.
How?
Accepting a black spiral as a bloody ambassador.
It is easy to judge those when you do not know their history.
You mean the fox, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm not judging her. I'm okay. Maybe I am a little bit. And he just kind of points over at the grave. I dug those personally.
Ask her about her mother and the Garou.
Okay. Is that something I'm going to likely get slapped for?
She doesn't seem the type to slap people very often.
It's very often that I'm a little worried about. It's the
And so
quiet
if
ones.
she does, you'll have asked in an inappropriate way.
Well, I basically told her that if the thing steps on a foot on this ground, its life is forfeit. Other than that, I'm not going to oppose anything the Guru might do to it.
Guru fight with Guru all the time.
Yep. But if it steps on these grounds, it's not going to be stepping off. But that's not really why I'm here. Um, you for your assistance with these grounds, you wish us to do something in exchange.
I want a volunteer to do something in exchange. This is why I asked the women of Basentai. It is not something you can do.
Okay. May I ask what it is?
You may ask.
What is this? What is the? Uh, Trying to figure out the appropriate word here. Homid language is weird. What is the quest? Job. Bloody hell, they have so many weird names for.
To travel with me to a place where a ritual will be cast, and then to return. The rest is a secret. Secrets are very interesting, don't you think? You should gather more.
Bastet lore. I got a 7 in there. Do I have any clue what kind of a ritual you might be getting at that only a female can do?
There's not many. There's not many that are particularly gender-based. However, it might be less about the ritual and more about the spirit. She is very much a spirit of femininity. If the ritual in any way taps into that, it might make the ritual harder to do it with a man.
AKA nowhere near enough successes to piece together.
Nowhere near enough successes, but enough for some possible hints that may or may not be true.
Is it going to cause them any direct danger?
No. It is something some people may disapprove of, but it is not against any of the laws that have been passed down by the Emerald Mother or the White-Faced Lady, or who, however you wish to call it. But there are those who would disapprove of Igaru following a cat spirit.
You know what? Doesn't put anybody at danger. It doesn't risk the sept, and the sept gets constructed. Whatever happens is your own business. And if whoever agrees to go along with it, that's their business, not mine.
And
I'm only worried about a possible friend getting injured. That's it.
she'll kind of twitch her whiskers in a cat smile. As much as it may not be what people would choose, it will likely make them safer, not in more risk. And it will help me do something of importance. Just the look on your face.
All right. Well, I can at least reassure them that there's no danger. And wait a second. You're wanting one of the wolves? So did I understand you correctly there?
Well, for all that the Bastet are my chosen people, they do not tend to work together well.
I really can't disagree with you there.
And if this island is to be created and made into something worthwhile, it will take more than one.
Well, the wolves are a permanent part of this. These grounds. They shed blood, and at least one of them almost perished holding this ground. So they have every right to be here as the Bastet do. So anything that happens to create it should involve them in any fashion the spirits wish it.
I have claimed Charlie and walks through the ashes.
Walks through the ashes is a good choice for one of them. From what I've seen, I believe she actually almost died holding these grounds.
I have also claimed Fang and Zhu.
Fang is a yeah, Ian doesn't know that, or the character doesn't know that. Sorry, never mind.
Yeah.
I almost slipped up there. Wrong character.
Mm-hmm.
Fang, I don't think I know.
She is like a wolf and not a wolf, a child of the tricksters.
Guru lore.
Do you have shifter lore?
I don't think I do. I think I have Guru lore, Shadow Lord lore, Basset lore, Swara lore, Ahadi lore, and Guru lore.
Okay.
Ahadi lore. The Ahadi, did they include Nuasha?
I don't know, but from the Guru lore, as far as you're concerned, the coyote were wiped out.
Sorry?
The coyotes were wiped out, according to your Guru.
Like a wolf, but not a wolf.
It's probably the first thing that would spring to mind. You'd know of them, but according to your Guru lore, they were wiped out.
Coyotes? Yeah, they were wiped out, weren't they?
They are the children of the tricksters.
Suppose. No?
Roll in the sand and let them think you're a wolf.
Is there anything I can do to help in the to respond to your help in creating these grounds into a set?
Make it somewhere worth the price that has been paid for it. And do your best to do it quickly. I think it does not particularly agree well with my brother here to stand guard.
Oh. I know it's a burden, but we had no support coming in.
She nods.
Now we do have support coming in, so we will be doing it quickly as we can.
She nods again. I have a party to plan.
All right. Thank you for your attention and your assistance.
She gives a small purr of acknowledgement, and then she wanders off.
You
and
look
almost
at
fades from sight.
I'm sorry, I missed that last part.
And she almost fades from sight.
Oh, okay.
And she just kind of wanders off. And it makes a certain amount of sense because you can't imagine her wanting to go across the water. So, she's there and she's walking away, and she's still walking away, but she's not exactly where she was. So,
Yeah. Well, you'd think she would just change to a water buffalo and wade her way.
so
That's just weird.
yeah, it is.
Of all the things.
But King of Cats is just watching you.
Out of character, I could just see her looking at a friend spirit go, does this form make me look fat?
And the other spirit says, yes. You go, good, I was looking for one that does that. Not my other forms do.
Jesus kind of looks over at King and kind of goes, not a speck of warning, eh?
He twitches an ear. She likes secrets.
Bast shows up. I don't even think the Sentai even know who she is.
The mistress of catkind likes her secrets.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the hell of a surprise that was laid on me kind of killed the surprise to them. The fox knows. Now, she does at least.
I would think nothing less.
Yeah,
I doubt she would choose foolish followers. But
you know, we all appreciate your help in this, right?
Yes. Knowing the stories are not the same as knowing the truth.
That's true. Oh.
I don't think I have seen her in the form of a woman with the head of a cat recently.
Yeah, but if she can take that other form that, confounds the hell out of us, then it wouldn't exactly surprise me if she could take on that form.
Nor me.
I mean, seriously, a water buffalo? Really? Oh.
I think it was something about the horns.
I think I heard a I'm not even going to go there, never mind. Oh. She's talking about some kind of mating ritual, isn't she?
He gives a cat shrug.
Yeah. Or has she kept that part a secret from you too?
I know enough to know where it will be.
Oh, good Lord. Well, there's very few things that are so gender specific that you would need a specific gender for. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's something breeding related. But
Perhaps.
like I said, that's not my business.
But it may also be something. It may be something that she would prefer certain people for. She does have a way of bending the truth at times.
True.
She has said that she is asked for a female member of the Sentai to do it, and that it is something he cannot do.
Yeah.
This does not specifically say that it is something only women can do.
True, I suppose. Well, as long as it's not a danger, like I said, if it's not a danger, then you know what? It's not really my business. But, have any ideas for totems for this place?
I like Old Man of the Sea.
Don't know that one too well, but
It is one I know well. But there are many possibilities.
it's true. Well, we basically removed any of the dragons because don't want to clash heads with the one at the other sept.
Lung is very proud. Pride like that can cause a person to lose what allies they might otherwise have. But enough of this seriousness. I have a job to do.
All right, I will go and
jump into one of the trees.
and chase this little cross back over.
It may or may not look like he is having a nap.
He's not like this hanging, half hanging from the tree like the hanging there pictures.
No. He's almost entirely on the branch except for one leg.
All right, and Chase's little flick his tail and turn cross back over.
And Zhu is sitting patiently.
And I shift into Hamid. Yeah. That was interesting.
I did say that she has an interesting personality. I assume that was who you were talking to.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely Bast. Yeah. Good news. Her secret mission won't put anybody at risk. Physically. Beyond that, that's about as much I got out of her as I could.
As I said, she seems to want to keep it a secret.
Yeah, I thought I'd give it the old cat-to-cat try.
Thanks.
And she said it was something I could.
Well, until I do it, I doubt I will know what it is in order to tell you whether you could or not.
No. She outright told me that it was something I couldn't do. So, I'll take her word at that.
Do you approve of the deal?
Like I told her, if it doesn't physically risk harm to the individuals and it helps get the sept set, what goes on between her and her chosen is none of my business.
So you have no objection to my claiming of the island?
Your claiming of the island?
I told you the deal was that she would allow this one-time use to claim the island from our enemies in return for the favours that are done. One of us will have to claim the island.
Finally. Okay, I've claimed this frickin' land twice and nobody else has stepped up. I am not a politician. No, I do not. However, I do declare the right to claim Beta as your war chief. I guess what the homage would call it. The warder of the grounds, the general.
She will nod. I am not a warrior.
He'd offer his hand.
She'll take his hand.
Then we have an agreement. And each shake.
That is good.
However, until this ritual is started, technically until the ritual's finished, I stand in my position. Once the ritual is completed, you're the boss.
I do not want to take this land from you, but if it must be claimed in the name of one of us.
I'm not saying this in the way to oppose you. I just think that until the rituals are complete, the person who's best suited to defend the land should be the one in command until the rituals are complete.
Yes.
That's why I say it that way.
I'm glad that I was able to discuss this with you. It is not a small offer that Bast has made, but it is not one that I would want to accept without ensuring that we would be able to utilize our side.
I took this land because it needed to be taken and nobody else was stepping up. I was never intending to be the leader long term. I was intending to make sure that this was a safe place. And if nobody else would take it, then I took it. After the second time, it had to be cleansed of individuals that meant it harm.
She nods. Well then.
It should have been taken, cleansed, and created the first time.
It is easier said than done. There will be a lot of preparation in creating it properly.
Yep.
I've already told you the amounts that the Okai Sept will have to do. 13 people, one for each of the moons of the year, will have to sacrifice of their own person.
Why does only the Hendaioke Sept have to? A third sept in the city only strengthens the city. Why not call upon the wolves?
They may, or we may.
Splitting it up between the two would cost less to any one group. And seeing that this And seeing that this is already effectively a joint sept anyways.
This is true. However, the arrangements for that particular ritual are being left with the Rite Master. I have been charged with attempting to make the arrangements for the second ritual. One installing the spirit.
The recommendation of the old man in the sea has been brought up.
It is well worth considering. There are rumors that he is a hidden facet of another spirit, though.
No, there was an interesting comment made in passing. Maybe it meant something. Maybe it didn't. Baston, King of Cats. She referred to him as her brother.
Among the Kitsune, we refer to all of the breeds as our brothers and sisters. And many of the spirits do likewise when they choose to. Brothers, sisters, parents, children.
Alright, might as well get this over with now. Take my slap if it's gonna be coming. The topic of the visitor came up. And the topic of your stance on the visitor came up. Bast told me to ask you about your parents and the guru.
Fortunately, my father never spent much time with the guru, not counting the Hacken, of course. My mother was nearly killed by them.
Ambassador of some sorts, I'm guessing?
Yes. They set up a sept where they were not welcome in the lands of the Henki-Yokai, in the heart of China. And she went to inform them that it was not their land and politely request that they leave. Rather than send a simple refusal to which the Henki-Yokai could have responded, they attacked her, and she barely escaped with her life.
She went alone?
Yes, she was an ambassador. If you'll just give me a minute, I will be right back. Just need to do something quickly. Sorry, I'm back.
No problem. I could understand how that could have gone badly.
But yes, we went alone. That was her job. She did not go to fight. The Kitsune are not among Gaia's warriors.
Guru can be rather territorial.
And this is why we should be better than that.
Yeah.
If a
But
person,
there is. Sorry.
if a person is brave enough to walk unarmed and alone into the territory of another, to speak truths and to carry messages, that earns a certain amount of respect, regardless of the people that they speak for or the people that they speak against.
I understand better where you're coming from.
However, without
There is. Would you have a different stance if you came upon these grounds to fight and you found that they had a fallen fox with them?
I would, as I said, support fighting against them on the battlefield.
They had corrupted a cat. They had corrupted a Khan, one of Sun Eye's tribes.
This is the difference. When someone comes to fight, it is entirely different than when someone comes to talk unarmed. As I said, I would support fighting them on the battlefield. For all that it is in the mandates of heaven that we do not make war on our brothers and sisters.
They are no longer our brothers and our sisters, or even our cousins. They have fallen so far from being one of our cousins that they are.
This is a matter of debate. But the point beyond this is that whether we make war or not, there are certain standards of behavior in wartime or in peacetime that the Western breeds do not always understand.
Perhaps.
As I said, if it is to be battle, then that is the case. But if he comes to talk, then we respond in kind.
Have they called for cleansing of the council chambers?
It is difficult to call for such when the Quasian live there and the vampires visit regularly.
There is a difference between even the kindred and the walking, talking, dripping corruption that is a Black Spiral dancer.
It is true.
His very presence. His very presence his very presence corrupts the ground that he walks on. I don't mean cleanse it in front of those who it might harm, but the council should be informed that they might have to cleanse after every visit by this individual.
I'm sure that Wang Ping is well aware of the imbalance in energies that it is likely to attract.
And we found out something else. Their banes can manifest.
Many spirits can manifest.
They've shown a willingness to manifest.
So has Bast. Many spirits can manifest. This is not news.
They had two banes. They had two bane spirits manifest in the combat. And he points to exactly where the bane spirits manifested and exactly where they fell. For one of them, he points to the exact same spot for both because he put the thing down before it was able to move from its manifestation. The other one moved maybe 20 feet.
This tells us something about our enemies, but it is not new that spirits are able to take form when they choose to.
These are also significantly stronger than the previous group that we faced.
All the more reason to act quickly.
Oh yeah.
In improving the defenses and the state of the space.
I doubt we defeated the Black Spirals. I'm pretty sure they probably just fell back to regroup.
And to attempt other tactics in the meantime.
Which may or may not include siding with the things at the wall.
I think it unlikely, but possible.
Unlikely, yes. Not impossible, though. It's the fact that we have two enemies now.
We have always had many enemies. Though not so many as the Guru tend to make.
That's a stupid idea. Maybe it's not. What have been the tactics of those things at the wall?
I think you would be best speaking to Adam on that. To the best of my knowledge, he has been present the majority of the times.
I'm just wondering if we could make one distracted by the other long enough for us to formulate a plan of action. I don't know if that's a stupid idea or if that's a smart idea or a little of A and a little of B.
I would say something of both. It would be a smart idea if it is achievable, but we do not know if it is achievable and it is risky either way.
In my eyes, it depends on how possible we think that the two of them might team up. Because if it's completely unbelievable that they might team up, then sending one after the other.
The risks are not entirely on the fact that they may or may not team up. There is also risks that attempting to get one near to the other, either of them may strike down the people involved.
And if it was succeeded,
It is
Sorry?
definitely something to consider. However, we have much to work on.
Which doing such might give us the appropriate time or frame, because one is, I'm sure at the very moment that we are talking, is probably formulating a plan to retake this land.
Yes.
Means we need fire support. We need defense support before we can actually start doing anything else. We need something. We need to set up something that will stand here, defend it from any taker, so that we can finish what we need to finish. We've got the spirit side pretty decently defended. We've got Undine, we've got King of Cats, and maybe we might have Bast to help there. I'm not 100% sure.
I believe she's interested in helping us, but I am not certain that guarding is on her to-do list.
We can count on Undine, and we can count on King of Cats for spiritual defense. We can probably count on Bast, from what I understand, for pretty much everything else. Unless I am mistaking what she is saying, but I don't think I am.
So we must decide on which totem we would like to call here, so that we can better work on making this place more suited to them and less suited to any others.
I think we need to send a messenger to the Guru Sept to ask them to send defenders.
That may be wise.
See if they, because I could, if I can, not putting words in anybody's mouth or making agreements for anybody, but I'm thinking if we can get them to agree to help hold the grounds while the Bastet, not just the Bastet, but the Hengyoke do the rituals, then I think, we got a pretty even, trade on, creating this. They helped us hold it while we created it. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know if I'm even fully making sense.
Something worth addressing with them.
Problem is, I can't go.
I will speak with Charlie. He may be able to discuss this with them.
Because as it stands, congratulations, me and you are the only two that currently stand in defense of this sept until either the rest of your Sentai agree or we get more defenders to come.
The Sentai have agreed that we will work to help with this.
Does that include
help? Is still to be discussed, but we have agreed that we will help in this.
Does that include defending it?
Those that are suited to the task, I believe so.
But until we actually have we go from a believe it to be true to a yes, we are the only two defenders on the physical realm.
And I have tasks that I must perform.
Which means I must stay. I cannot leave until we have more. That's also why I was missing from the council meeting.
I understand.
How is the thing going with the wall, anyways?
We should discuss the totem, see what we can decide upon, and I will ask Charlie and Walks Through the Ashes to speak with the members of the Garu Sept to see if they are willing to send additional help.
Excellent. Alright then, we've got stuff to do, like figuring out talents to get or make. I can't make talents, so
The most difficult thing will be deciding an appropriate totem for this, and then working out what sacrifice would best attract their attention, what challenge would best impress them.
who did you have in mind?
I have two suggestions. The first is Milo Foe. He is a totem of respect that brings peace to his followers, while also providing for their material needs. His request of his followers is that they spread their prosperity rather than gathering it solely to themselves,
Share the wealth.
and that they are peaceful between each other.
And the other?
And he assists concentration and will, as well as ensuring that the very same prosperity that they share with others comes easily to them. For reference, check out the Smiling Happy Buddha.
Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah. And the second choice?
The second is Suli. She is not native to these lands, but she teaches healing and the study of self-improvement.
Okay.
these are my suggestions, but I do have something of a preference for totems of respect.
Neither of them are. Neither of them I oppose. I'd like to hear everybody's opinion in the end, though, of those who stand to defend and create this sept. Especially those who stand to defend.
This is true.
Although I do like the Suli idea. And a character Ian is fading.
Yeah, you think you're fading. It's gone through here, which means it's gone full.
Yeah, I think it'd probably be a good spot for us to leave off and pick up when everybody else is together to discuss it further.
That is very much true. While at the same time, something that the two of us really kind of need to discuss, but we do have some time.
Oh, what's that?
The totem thing, we do have some time, but it is something we really kind of need to discuss.
Yeah, that's what he wants to hear from the rest of the Sentai about if they're going to stand in defense of the of the sept. So if they all agree, then he wants to hear their opinions. So yeah.
So yes, I think we've mostly covered everything important. The main important thing was establishing the whole deal with the cat, because that kind of has to happen during downtime. So
yeah.
In that case, with hopefully most of the things sorted,
there is no bad blood between the Sentai and the current only defender of the sept grounds.
Yep.